To P Full Face Hello 2, which is how this is set up. So good to have you. Hello! Oh my goodness, you made it. I went back to classic hat. This is the hat I wore in episode 1 of Level Up Louie Learning to Draw, and I was doing some editing of those episodes. I actually have them all lined up in YouTube. So if you want to go see any of these episodes, if you're in the future, you want to see something from the past, or if you're in the present and want to see the future, go check out that YouTube channel. It is a good hat. Thank you, The Gwendolyn Show. It's a good hat. It feels Indiana Jonesy / Gary Gygax. Gary Gygax, Dave Arneson, the inventors of Dungeons & Dragons, and of course Indiana Jones, we all know. So you combine Indiana Jones and Gary Gygax together, pretty much that's the best you're going to get. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm doing a couple extra faces in the beginning and looking at you, the camera, and kind of giving you some because I took some of these images and I put them on the front of the YouTube videos. So I have this outline of me with what we drew in the class. It just makes for interesting YouTube videos. Just like everything else, advertising shelf space being in the YouTube market, when you scroll through, you're going to see different images, different videos, and things that catch your eye, things that have a human face with an expression you always kind of pause at those. Trying to work the algorithms, my friends. Not just the algorithms, trying to get shelf space and share with everybody. Not that everything is consumerism. Not that everything needs to be sold. But here we are. Let's do some drawing. Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun. What do we need? Who are we? What does it all mean? What do we need? That's the easiest one. So let's just answer that. The other two are up to you. Maybe by the end of the show, you'll figure that out. What we need here when we are doing our drawing class together at Level Up with Louie, also LittlEmpire. If you want to support this drawing class at all, go pick up something from LittlEmpire. No pressure. A lot of fun stuff over there. Drawing paper, drawing pad. You can see I have a spiral notebook. This is all the drawings I've done in this one. One's almost full. Almost empty. Very full of drawings, almost empty. So we're going to have to pick up a new one of these at some point. That's great. This one, sometimes it takes me over a year to fill up a sketchbook. I usually work smaller sketchbooks. Sometimes it takes me 3 months to fill up a sketchbook. This is great. This one has taken 4 or 5 months at most now. And I also have some other drawing papers I've been using. But I always feel good when I can do 2 sketchbooks a year. I feel like I'm doing my job as an artist if I'm filling 2 sketchbooks a year. Paper, 8.5 by 11 printer paper works fine too. Couple pencils. I use very straightforward generic pencils, HB2, classic school pencils you could call them. I don't trust the erasers. There is a fly in here. I don't trust the erasers on these pencils. I just don't know if I trust the erasers, so I usually don't. They harden too quickly. So I like to use these erasers here. These are high polymer erasers. If they get dirty, you can clean them on your carpet or the back of an office chair. But again, if you're cleaning your erasers in places, change those places around. Don't let your parents know, kids. Don't clean them on white carpet, all right? I guess that's the main point. Don't clean them on white carpet. Pencils, erasers, paper. That's the basics. If you have that, we are good to go. But if you want to up the game a little bit and add some other things to drawing, get yourself an electric pencil sharpener. Hand pencil sharpeners are fine. This keeps all the mess inside, makes it easy. Boom, nice sharp pencil. A medium quality one. It wasn't one of the best, wasn't one of the worst. The next thing I like to have around are these pens. I use these Micron Pigma pens that you can get at Michael's. Different sizes here. This one is my favorite one to do outlines with, graphic 1. These two are different sizes, and what I mean by different sizes is the actual pen tips are different sizes. You can see one's a little bigger than the other here. Boom, boom. And the cool thing about these pens, they have the numbers on the top. So if they're in your pen jar, pen, how do we say it? Is it a strong I or a strong E in the middle? If they're in your pinger, that's how you say it. If they're in your pinger, you can easily see them because of the tops. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, eh? That's gonna make a great YouTube spot. Okay, let me tell you this. Secret surprise, I picked up another ping, so to put in my ping jar. This was just, this is like a Sharpie, I want to say a generic Sharpie, maybe even a Staples brand pen. But it's a little thicker like a Sharpie. Man, sorry about the camera. I don't know which is right, which is left sometimes. It's got a nice point to it. It's got kind of a little bit of a rectangle feel or a little square feel to the actual holding. So that seems interesting. I want to see how that feels when drawing. We'll see how this goes. I might do some inking with this later just to get a feel for it. Nice to have different pens in there. Also, one more thing, and I recommend you have this all the time. Glass of water. Cheers to you, my friends. A beautiful glass of water. Let's have a sip. That's good water. And for me, I have a bonus coffee, my friends. Coffee in this cool coffee mug that someone got me at a Renaissance festival. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. I'm bad at pronouncing things sometimes. Nicaraguan coffee here. I'm going coffee without sugars lately. I'm trying to get to know different coffees. Somebody wonderful named The Gwendolyn Show sent me a starter pack of coffees. It had like 8 coffees in it, just enough to make 1 cup. Honduran, Ethiopian, Nicaraguan, Guatemalan, all different flavors, so you can get, like wine or anything delicious. Take your time, enjoy things. Like, life is full of chances for you to enjoy the subtleties and experiment some. Yes, you might drink your coffee with sugar and cream all the time. Doesn't mean you have to. Life is full of chances to change up your routine a little bit without harming or destroying or making waves in any of your life. And I recommend doing that. I'm doing no sugar. I usually just sugar and coffee. It used to be sugar and cream. But I'm doing no sugar, no cream, just to experience the coffee for a little while. Why not? How could I not try this for a couple weeks to a couple months? It's part of life to change up your routine a little bit, man. I didn't think we were going to answer it, but look, we're learning a little bit about what is life and who we are. What's the meaning? Sorry, back to the drawing. Let's go down to our paper. There it is. I'm now over in the corner. We have our paper, notebook. You see the pencil here and our drawing space. Okay, I'm not going to drink all that coffee in one day. Gwendolyn Show. At some point, somebody's going to show me how to put the chat up here in this window. So the chat can be going in the window above me so that I can read it there maybe. So I don't have to come down to another device. And then also later on when people watch the video, they can read it. We're going to figure it out. Okay, Pexarog has drank all the coffees in the sampler pack in one day. That's just how he rolls, everybody. Please leave him be. And to everybody out there, again, I appreciate you being here. Let's get to drawing. Let's start with some warming up. As usual, we're working the hand, working the pen, working the mind a little bit, connecting all the pieces. I'm just going to start I always start with circles. Here, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do a wavy line. Look at that, a sine wave. Wavy line, my friends. Hand loose, pinky out to kind of support. One thing you want to be careful of, and this is why animators sometimes wear gloves. Good. I enjoy you guys chatting in the chat. I know it kind of interrupts the flow sometimes, but the flow here is we're hanging out for an hour, doing some doodling and drawing. I want to get you happy with the pen and the pencil. I like that everybody out there. I'm the only one here right now, I think, that drinks coffee. I think Rabbit Hutch, Hexeroy, and Gwendolyn Cho, pretty much they can let it go. So here's to me. Animators wear gloves sometimes on their pinky. It's a special little pinky glove. You can see it so it doesn't mess up the lines they already have. My pinky is hovering above the paper right now. Again, just having a loose hand, seeing what I can make happen there. Tracing along the curves I've already made. You can see already it's starting to mess up some, but that's giving some depth to this illusion a little bit of waves. My hand's coming under. This is another way I draw. I go tight on the pencil and I set my hand firmly on the paper, and then I use that to draw. And usually it's very tight like this. And you can use that to draw more precise shapes at that point. You want to follow along and just do any doodles here. I'm just letting my mind go a little bit and making some doodles. Part of drawing sometimes is getting in the zone. Almost every activity where you are working your mind and your body at the same time benefits from getting in the zone. From sports to art to juggling. And for me, what it means to get in the zone is that I'm letting those two pieces warm up together. I'm thinking about what's going to be ahead. I'm setting up constraints. I'm focusing in a little bit. Getting in the zone. You'll know it when you feel it. Not everything needs getting in the zone. When I go jump in the car, I don't get in the zone a half an hour before I go to drive the car. Even though we should recommend that to every teenager who's getting a driver's license now. Like half an hour before you get in the car, go sit in the car and get in the zone. No phone, no radio, check your mirrors, focus down. Mary, hello. Coke with ice, that's delicious. I got water with ice over here. Yeah, that does look a little bit like a circuit board, right? Kind of cyberpunk today, little cyberpunk doodles. Again, for me, I'm trying to break up from what my normal doodles are. Normally, I jump in, we do circles, and we do some patterns. I'm purposely trying to break away from that. And circuit boards. Yeah, I'm just going to do one of those for a second here. Look at that. That's a chippy chip circuit board. I'm just making it up as I go along. Remember old Nintendo cartridges? This is just doodling. This is doodling, filling a page. One of these drawing classes, getting the pencil, getting the mind. Where I use the pointing to the mind to actually itch my eyebrow there on that one. That was a twofer, as they call it. There's old Nintendo cartridges. I know I tangent a lot. I'm talking to myself, and then I think I answered it, and then I don't hear any other voices. So pretty much this is also what happens when I'm here alone working in the shop all day. I'm talking to myself and the various spiders and ants and flies that live here. All right, like literally right out the window as I said that, I'm witnessing a spider hunting down a moth on my window. Here's the thing though. Spider doesn't know this. Moth is on the inside, spider is on the outside. Sorry, spider, you're going to lunge for that moth and be, oh. Oh, he's going after him. Spider going for the moth. Close. Moth got away, everybody. Whew! This is like, what a day. What a day. Yes, nature is nature is wonderful. I mean, honestly, it was cool. I wish the spider would have gotten that moth. That would have been crazy. Not that, not that I don't like moths, but I want spiders to grow up healthy, wealthy, and wise so they can keep all the mosquitoes out. Look at this. Circuit board going on, guys. What is a circuit board, huh? Right now it's a doodle. It's a doodle. What is a circuit board? Where do circuit boards live? Almost every major device of our current civilization has a circuit board. Sure, the toaster has a circuit board. This camera here definitely has a circuit board. Computer is full of them. Inside of circuit boards, you have different little sensors. You have sensors and you have chips. Chips go on top of the circuit board, and what it is, all these little circuits are etched in there, usually designed on a computer, and then etched in using different photographic processes. And each one of these little chips on a circuit board have a different function, usually a different math function. So you feed some input into it, it does its magical math, and then it sends some data back out. And that magical math might change depending on if this sensor over here is feeding in some data. You have an accelerometer over here, which measures the speed and the force. It has like a little tiny gyroscopic mechanism inside that moves back and forth, literally, quite literally inside your phone. A little piece of metal or liquid metal inside that senses something, so it knows if your phone is rotated, feeds that information over here to this chip that then presents if your screen should be horizontal or vertical, and then sends that back out to your phone screen and flips the screen one way or the other. Incredible, right? Just checking on that spider. Doing the doodles, my friends. Doing the doodles. Great. Yeah, Mary works with students at a school where they do a lot of amazing tech stuff. They use 3D printers to CNC machines to laser cutters, and this whole school is cool because the school is cool. Is because all these kids are into learning all these amazing things. I stopped by there once for a visit. Super awesome. Lots of fun. I'm glad to see that there are schools dedicated to teaching kids the magic of technology. All right, here we go. Whoa, Louie, whoa, slow down. What are you doing? I'm doing my classic doodles. Just some fun circles, friend. Remember this doodle? What am I making here? Oh, that's a head. That's where the eyes are. Remember this guy? This is a goblin, friends. We did that in the past. We did some goblin. And then I think to myself, hey, goblin. Hey, little goblin friend. Where are you? What are you up to? Why are you, goblin? This goblin tells me he's looking for adventure, friends. He's looking for adventure. A for adventure. Oh, wow, that's a cool block letter. Oh, it just became 3D. How did that happen, friends? Well, go back and watch one of the previous lessons. I talk about making letters into 3D. And it's kind of what it looks like. Going on adventure. This is also a class where we learn to spell words. First one is adventure. This goblin, we got our doodle going. Messing around. We feel good? Everybody feel good about doodling? Good. The show's getting a little distracted. We're already 20 minutes in. This is hanging out. This is hanging out drawing time. The whole time I'm talking, I need you to be doodling though, all right? Like, you need to keep doodling. I got all the talky, thinky part. You just doodle away, doodle it, doodle it, doodle it up. I like to chase my water with coffee. What a good life I get to live. This goblin going on adventure. What does he need? What does she need? What does he, she, them, they need to go on this adventure? Pronouns are fun. I'm glad we get to choose our own these days. Again, changing up your routine, changing your life a little, dealing with the changes of the world some. It's all part of the joy of life, my friends. Adapt, overcome, be resilient, be happy. Everything's not going to go our way all the time. Let's work together to make it better for us and everyone we know. New page, new adventures. New page, new adventures. What does this goblin need? I'm going to draw some of the things this goblin is taking with them on an adventure. This was suggested to me. Sometimes I find it hard to figure out what I'm going to draw for you guys. Like, I feel like we've gone through the list of the things that I know how to draw, and from here on out, it's like I'm going to have to learn, like, before I show you or learn as we go. But here's something I've drawn before. It's a cart. Goblin needs to load up a cart, all right? So he goes to the local cart store, and he's buying a cart. It's maybe like 25 gold pieces or so. 25 GP to buy this cart. There it is. That's 1 GP. And I'm going to draw this cart. We're going to do it in a couple different ways. Like, I'm going to show you this cart, me extracting this cart and doing it from a top-down view, a side view, and attempting a 3D view of it. And then we're going to draw some miscellaneous little items, kind of quick sketches of little things that he can take adventuring with him. But I thought it would be neat to show you how almost an engineer would break apart an object and draw it in 3 different ways to show somebody building it. Or let's get into it. You know what I mean. Basic cart is going to have a body and some handles. So we're going to do what we're going to do here is we'll do top down first, all right? Top down, and we'll go sideways with it. I'm going to come down here a little bit just to make sure we get it all on paper. This, again, we're going to draw basic shapes. Let's draw some basic shapes. This is the body of the cart. This cart will then have a couple handles that come out. These shapes are rectangles. So far we have a square and a couple rectangles. Already you can see it's starting to look like a cart, right? Like, I mean, you pick up those 2 handles and you go. Then we have some wheels. And these wheels are, again, almost the same thing as those rectangles because we're seeing them from above. I'm offsetting them just a little bit. And then what's going on here? Underneath the body of this cart, there is what's known as an axle. And that's what those wheels spin on there. And out of that axle comes a little hub. Pretty much at the center of those wheels. Yeah, Accelerometer, dating these pages, part of the reason I like putting stuff up on the internet is that one day I can go back and I can just, like you said, reminisce some fun things. I'll date all the... I'm going to date my pages. Hey, Paige, where do you want to go tonight? Oh, the ice cream store. See, that's what you do in comedy is you take words that are... Well, here's what you do in comedy. you take words that are used one way and then you twist it so it's used another way. So date, and I was like, oh, date. Oh, okay, back to the drawing. Okay, sorry. All right, we have a cart. We have 2 wheels. We have the top. We have a couple of handles. That's the basics of what we have right now. I'm going to put these little sides in here. We can't see them yet, but just a couple little lines. So what does this look like sideways? We have these wheels here. What you can do, in a way, there's wheels. We have a wheel. I'm not going to proportion it up as you would in an engineering diagram. I'm just not going to fit it here. And then this is a wheel with a little circle. That's the hub right here. That's the hub. We're looking at it sideways. This body, if the axle is here, is sitting on top of that axle. Right? And then from there, you have a couple of handles coming off. I'm drawing into this one, obviously. That's a little funky. And then you have this here, which is this little wall right here. Maybe that has some slats in it. And this wheel itself has a thickness with some spokes on it. And there's maybe a little bracer there if you set it down, or a little step up or something. We can kind of see that, right? You can see how that's the top view and the side view at the same time. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to just ink it a little bit so you can get a feel for like finishing off this cart. Like this cart, these slats here would be wooden beams. And in the past, we've talked about making this like light wooden texture where you kind of just roll up, put a little knot, come back down. Like this is, usually I do this in the inking phase, but we're just doing some light, very light pencil marks. Let them go. You gotta get them a little wiggled, and you're starting to get kind of like a wood texture going there. You can see that happening. Let me see if that comes up at all. Zoom in, camera. I command you, zoom in, camera. Camera says no. Camera says no. Top-down view. Side view. I'm going to ink it. Okay, when I ink it, I'll show you this little technique. I'm going to use the new marker, guys. So exciting, new marker. All right, now, we've talked about in the past, we have talked about objects being in front of each other. You put one object, put the other object in front, and I know you get this. This is all very, like, duh. But when the object is in front, you don't see all the lines of the object in the back, right? You see these pen lines. They both go straight up. But now it's interrupted, those pen lines going straight up, by this eraser lines going sideways. So when you think about when you're going to ink, you got to think about which layer, top to bottom, some pieces are on. So you know which lines to ink and not ink depending on what you can and can't see what's on top of each other. So like this axle down here, I will not see this axle. Here, look, let me tell you something, friends. Do not like this pen right now because the top does not stay on this end very well. Ugh. Oh, so you got to just set the top to the side or something? What a ridiculous like that is. This axle, even though I have a pencil line of it here, you're not going to see it because of these boards on top. just little reminders when you go to ink. You work your way down. Boop, 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 boop. One of the highest parts here is this top railing of this beam here. And where is that? Where is that top railing? In this wheel is the, again, highest is in what you see looking down. What I'm seeing looking down, this top rail here. And this top rail over on this side. Now these little beams coming up in here, they might actually poke through a little bit. So I'm just giving them some inky love right there. The next thing in height that we hit, boom, boom, is this wheel about the same height. So I'm just going to draw the basic wheel in here too. I want to let everybody know, since last week I found my ruler. Last week I had lost my ruler. It was just underneath some stuff on my desk. Could have found it if I wanted to get up out of my chair, but I did not get up out of my chair. Look, I'm putting this little angle on this hub. Get a little life to it. Get a little life to it, y'all. Right? We're starting to see that. Wheel edge. Cart. Next thing we come down, kind of the floorboards of the actual wagon. I'm going to inset them just a little bit. I'm liking this marker. It's a little thick. But as you can see, I can get a little bit of a thick line, and I can get a little bit of a thin line with it. What I'm learning to do, and I've been trying to practice a lot, is learn how to make a line thick and thin within the drawing. Maybe by changing the angle. This one bleeds a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of bleed on this paper, just a little bit. It's a very natural look. But I'm trying to learn to make thick and thin lines with one marker. So I can make like thin, 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 thick, thick, thick. Learning some technique with the marker. I've seen a couple friends of mine do some various drawing classes too, where they have such control over their pen. They can vary the stroke, then the depth. I love it. Love it. All right, so this is in between the boards. This is boards. I'm going to definitely do this in the thick. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to switch over from this pen to an 08 micron. And what we're going to do, I'm going to add this. I'm just jumping in with the pen. Show you guys what's up. Doing some pen. Usually, sometimes if we don't get to the pen part of the drawing, today we do. I'm going to do this wood texture. I'm going to kind of go with what I have there, but I'm also going to just let it go a little bit. I'm just playing around with the wood, making some lines. But also kind of just letting it be natural. Letting my hand flow a little bit on those. I personally am hearing an echoey voice somewhere, and I don't know if it's the tablet where I have the stream kind of going so I can see it, or if it's that spider talking to me. He's on the ledge. He's on the ledge. He's pretty much watching me right now. This spider is watching me, watching him. Sorry, I'm sorry about the moth, man. I hope you eat today. All right, so these axles, there's this little gap here, and we will see the axle in there. So I'm just going to put a couple little lines to show that axle is going on there. I'm going to darken them a little bit because they're underneath and in between. I'm just going to go ahead and do some shading on these. And then even on the wheels, just a little bit of shading. Give it a little look and feel there. Okay, we got an idea of a cart. It's happening. I'm gonna keep going on markering this just to be done. At the end of these handles, I'm gonna give them a little bit of love too, as far as attention, and just kind of make them curved a little bit. And then there's this little step down made out of a piece of wood. And honestly, this is wood too, but we gotta do the wood texture for everything. Well, if we're doing it, we might as well do it. Look how I'm just kind of going quickly and just kind of letting the pen do its thing on this wood texture. I mean, you could doodle a whole page just to make a fun wood texture. And just get used to practicing that wood texture. Come back in with the pencil, and this is again why I like these larger erasers. Come back in with the eraser. Clean that up some just so you kind of see what I'm working with here. Right, there's a lovely cart, top-down cart. Looking nice, looking nice. If we colored that, we could really pick out those like gray metal bands, the wood color. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing for this, for the side view. And then while we're here, I'm going to also put up here. This is just a random plane for people who have sent in different drawings throughout time. That's pretty fun. Everybody, if you send in your drawing, it'll show up here. And if I forgot to put yours up there, let me know. I'll throw it up there at some point in the future. It's a lot of fun. You know, I didn't get any. Did I get any 3D letters? Maybe I got some 3D letters in. I just haven't put them up this week. So that's that. Good. Okay, looking at how I'm going to ink this. Again, we start with the thing closest to us and work our way back, foreground to background. If we're looking at this wagon from the side here, first thing we see is this hub. So I know all the lines are visible of that hub. Next thing we hit is the wheel. Notice when I'm inking, I'm placing my hand down. And I got my tight grip here, not the loose finger up, but the tight grip to control it a little bit. I love when seeing people's drawings pop up. That's a lot of fun. All right, and then we'll have the spokes of this. Spokes, huh? Reduces the weight of the wheel overall instead of just a solid hunk of wood that's a circle. Add some stability to it. Oh, look at that. Now that's a wheel, ladies and gentlemen. That's a wheel. Looking in. Next thing is the side here. And that is a little bit of the main platform. See how I have to not go in there in those lines because you can't see through things unless you're Superman. And then the top piece of that railing, kind of. And then we have some, they're not spokes as much, just vertical pieces holding that up. Those are going to look like spokes there. And that's where you would use a little bit of different color and stuff to differentiate between some of those items. There we go. That cart is starting to come together, my friends. Coming together. Here we would have this bar underneath. And we do kind of a little swirl there to symbolize that this might be longer than it is. And then we're going to come out and then we're going to kind of do a rounded. That little break, this is obviously longer. You do a little break line like that. In technical drawings, it means like this has been shortened to show you the ends of something. There's middle, but it's all about the same, so you kind of do this technical break line. I'm sure there's a term for it. I'm sure there's a term. And then the last little part is this little step board here. Boom, boom. Okay? A cart. There's a cart. Put your rabbits in there. Gonna get my pain jar, my pain jar. Have a little sip of coffee, everybody. Cheers. Okay, yeah. You could throw a whole, I mean, pretty much it's a rabbit hutch right there, rabbit hutch. Let's throw those bunnies in there. Cool, that's a cart top and side. Now, all right, we got 20 minutes left, 15 to 20 minutes left. I was going to show you this cart. Like, I don't feel like we need to go back and do the cart again. We got a feeling about that. We kind of know what it looks like. 3D cart. I don't know, that's a big jump. Do we do 3D cart or we do random items that go in the cart in kind of a 2D manner? What do you guys think? 3D or random items in 2D? Because either way, that's going to take up the rest of the time. I'm going to switch pages as well. Items. Well, random items. Items it is. Items it is. What do you need on an adventure? All right, here's what this goblin friend is going to need. He's going to go visit his SO, and he's bringing all sorts of fun things. He has a backpack full of gemstones. We've done gemstones in the past, but here we go. He's rations. Yes, a rabbit, rations. Yeah, okay, good, y'all. Here we go. Backpack. Kind of have a bag shape with a flap on it. And a couple sort of notches there, right? Basic. Got some stitching. Good. I'm just going to quick do some of these. Yeah. Oh, you guys are great. Freaking nailing it, everybody. Nailing it. Backpack. I'm just going to quick go through some of these. Like, you'll have to deconstruct it later, or we're going to have a deconstruction party going on. A bedroll. Again, watch how I'm just doing, like, a basic shape. Basic shape, and then building it out from there. I'm kind of doing this. A bedroll, it's going to roll up on the inside a little bit. And then maybe holding this bedroll in is kind of a belt type thing. Holding this bedroll together. Basic shapes that then I will ink into perfection. Bedroll, backpack. You do need some rabbits. You need those little rabbits. So let's see. Let's do a I am drawing some of this in a 3D style just for fun. Basic shapes, squares, rectangles, and then it's like like carving. You start with a basic shape and then you carve that, work it, carve it until it's what you want. And inside of this box is some bunnies. Like here's 3 little bunny bodies. And then these are like little bird bunnies, like they want some ears and then a little bunny face. And then I'm just doing quick kind of sketches here with the pencil. And when I go to ink over them, I'll fill them in a little more. Rations and silken rope. I was thinking about the rope. Rope is a hard one sometimes because of how intricate it is. But you got a pile of rope there. You can make, like, it sits in a pile, and then it has some coils, and then maybe out one side you have what is whispering to me? Is it that spider? Ooh. Some coils. One side you have a piece coming out. You can't quite see that on the screen. But it's rope, is coil. There's like circle. I'm doing it a little more thicker here. Circles, kind of coils, and then one side you get a little piece coming out. And so when we go to ink that, I'll clean that up a little bit. Bedroll backpacks, coil ropes, and then just checking some things, A fly is about to go inside my pencil sharpener. What? Nature is metal. Nature is wonderful. Look at all this gray. I got flies, I got spiders. I have a lizard that lives up top there somewhere, and he comes down, climbs the wall, goes outside, and then goes all the way back up into a side room at night. Anyway. Let's go. We got bedrolls, we got lantern. A lantern or a mug? A lantern. That's a fun one. Again, I'm just playing with basic shapes. There's the glass of a lantern. And then you have kind of this action holding it in a base so you can set it down. And then it has a top. It's getting very sketchy here, Handle. Adding a little design to it now. A little flare. All right. We got 10 minutes. Let's do some inking. I'm going to go back to my classic #1 inker. This is my graphic one. I love this one for inking. You'll see it's very similar to that other pen we were using. It's just a little thinner. And not only do some pengs have different sizes of nibs, but also the flexibility of those nibs are different. So some might be a little looser, some a little harder, some are almost brushes. Look at how that top goes on there. You could learn a lot, other peng. Look at that. Look at that. Look how that one goes on. You do not do that. Get it together. Let's go backwards. Lantern. What am I seeing first? This edge that's closest to me. sometimes with inking, you use your pencil lines as an idea. They don't have to be exact. And remember, sometimes when you're inking, not connecting the lines all the way kind of adds a little bit of play to it, adds a little bit of character. So much of drawing is that paralleling another line, which we do in some of our practices. We do that. Inside here is some sort of kind of dotted lines for the back of that area. And inside is some sort of flame with a wick going on in there. It's a fun lantern. It's an idea. Great. This rope's hard. Very fancy goblin. This goblin, I mean, going to visit a friend. The end of the rope. Kind of tucked under. This is where rope gets difficult, and sometimes the drawing, like what's closest to you, what's going back, you got to start to make some decisions, and it doesn't always look right. Or I wish I would have left a little space there so I could have the other end popping up, but not quite it. Here's something with rope. Look at that wiggle line. My hand got nervous right there. Come in. You kind of do this. And this could be a rope, or this could be a giant curled up earthworm. So you decide. You kind of put these angled sort of markings on the rope. There we go. That's pretty good. Looks like a coil pile of rope there. Looking good, looking good. I want to thank everybody for being here again. It's always interesting and wonderful to hang out with you and see what we get up to drawing. If you have anything you want me to draw in the future, please let me know. Contact me one way or the other. Maybe it is a giant curled up earthworm that the goblin employs as his rope. Like maybe they have a symbiotic relationship. All right, this rabbit hutch is going to be a good one. All right, let's see. All right, little rabbit heads. What do you look like? You've got a little nose, a little rabbit mouth, little rabbit eyes, right? I don't know. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. They're poking their way out of there. Little rabbits. It's more the illusion of a rabbit in there right now. I'm going to have to like look at a rabbit to really get the drawing down. But that's the illusion of a rabbit in a hutch, I'm going to erase these lines for the rope. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, those are some rabbits and hutches, huh? They're hanging out in there. Little guys being carried over. This bedroll, again, what's closest to us are these leather straps. Those are going to go first. You got to think in that layers sometimes when you're doing your inking. So that you get which is on top of which correct. So I don't accidentally put all those lines through those leather straps because those are sitting above. Thanks for hanging out and looking at the... Oh no! Oh, I just turned it off as you said, hey, your album will show up soon. Sorry. I'll leave it on. I'll leave it on. Slideshow going. 3 minutes. Kind of we're getting down to it, everybody. Try to do an hour. I might pop on. Somebody requested... Somebody requested seeing all of the letters of the alphabet done in 3D. Because last week we did some 3D letters for people's names. And so I might do a bonus episode tomorrow or later on today, I'm not sure. And just do the whole alphabet in 3D letters. Just so you can practice doing 3D. Hello, the Geeky Bear. Hello. Yeah, I think your owlbear might show up here at some point. And then the last little part we're going to do inking in here is this backpack. These sort of straps are first because they're closest to us. Then this top flap. And then this bottom part. I'm just going to add some shading under here. By shading, I just mean a darker line. Add some darker line around the bottom and this back side a little bit just to give it a little depth. Then I can even add a little bit of light shading lines like this. Again, just to give it a little depth. You could even add that down here. Parallel lines just running along there. Oh, I didn't let that ink dry, everybody. So I did some thicker stuff. It was a little, oh, it does look all right. There we go, friends. There we go. Take all of these items. Throw them in your cart. And go adventuring with your goblin. Look at that. We got a cart. We got wonderful items to throw inside that cart. Rabbits, ropes, earthworm ropes, a backpack, a bedroll, and a lantern. Like, how could this adventure not go well? I hope all of you are doodling and sketching, seeing how all of these objects, everything I've drawn is built from just basic objects. Circles, rectangles. Those are the basics. Put them in layers. Work with them. Pull them out. Sculpt them how you want with your pencil, and then go back in with that ink and define it. That's what we're doing for most of these. Right? A basket of bunnies. That's pretty solid. Like, who is not, like, sure, getting a bouquet of roses is cool. But getting a basket of bunnies, pretty thumbs up there, everybody. Again, I want to thank all of you. Thanks for being here. It's always nice to have friends on board for a little bit of drawing with Level Up with Louie. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Get out there, doodle a little bit every day, and you will be amazed at the sort of progress you're going to get. Thank you guys, Pexelroy, Mary, Geeky Bear, Gwendolyn Show, Rabbit Hutch, everybody else out there in the wonderful world who doesn't watch me on Twitch but watches me later. I appreciate you. Thank you all. It goes by so quick. Have a wonderful day. Cheers, friends.